The first step in Abilene's cultural district was the renovation and reopening of the historic Paramount Theater in 1987. 10 years later, ABC World News Tonight selected Abilene to feature as a city that used the arts to revitalize the downtown.
The National Endowment for the Arts is making news again. This week, the endowment will release a study which finds that many Americans fail to recognize the direct relevance of art to their lives. There are various reasons, but the endowment does find that arts institutions are often isolated from communities they claim to serve but do not. It needn't be that way, of course. ABC's Beth Nissen reports tonight from Abilene, Texas.
10 years ago, almost every building in downtown Abilene looked like this. Their solution? Abilene invested in the arts.
It's really not only an aesthetic opportunity, it's a very sound economic strategy.
Abilene started by restoring this 1930s movie palace, using more than $2 million from a local development foundation. The transformation of this theater from a downtown eyesore to a civic jewel helped the city raise millions more. The new theater proved Abilene's commitment, generating corporate and private donations. The city won a small federal arts grant. Politicians allocated city and county revenues to the arts and collected a 1% arts tax on all hotel and motel bills. The proceeds paid for a new conductor to fine-tune the community orchestra into a critically acclaimed philharmonic. A closed department store became a contemporary arts gallery. An abandoned hotel was reborn as a cultural center with museum space worthy of top-quality exhibits. The center now draws 75,000 visitors a year. And where people go, stores and restaurants follow. This new restaurant does 14% of its business on Philharmonic nights.
Downtown wasn't really like this a few years ago. There wasn't anything here.
People come down to see the arts, but then they end up in our bakery.
Arts patrons now account for 1/3 of the business in this downtown bakery. 1/2 the sales in this jewelry store, according to store owners.
What about that?
Last year, downtown property values jumped 14%, adding 1 million new tax dollars to city coffers. The Chamber of Commerce now emphasizes the city's cultural riches in recruiting new businesses to town. 10 in the last 3 years, with 1,200 new jobs.
This is a single column.
In Abilene, this is the relevance of the arts. A downtown rebuilt, a community enriched. Beth Nissen, ABC News, Abilene, Texas.
Since that segment ran 8 years ago, the downtown continues to evolve. 3 major art and cultural facilities have been added to the downtown landscape. The National Center for Children's Illustrated Literature, also known as the Nickel, opened in the year 2000. It sponsors exhibitions of original illustrations by outstanding artists. All exhibits are free to the public, and free art activities for children take place each Saturday. Each year, 3 illustrators are invited to exhibit their work at the facility, which is located at North First and Cedar. Exhibits organized by the Nickel open in Abilene and then travel throughout the United States for a minimum of 2 years. There are currently 10 exhibits touring the country. In fact, our exhibits have traveled to 40 cities in 24 states. The Elks Building opened in 2002 and houses several art organizations, including the Abilene Performing Arts Company. This arts group, also known as APAC, provides children's classes in drama, dance, and musical theater. Classes are offered to anyone ages 3 through 20. Recently, APAC hosted camps attended by children from the Boys and Girls Club. Frontier Texas is our newest venture. In the same way that Texas' early frontier forts established a protective gateway at the edge of Western civilization, Frontier Texas establishes itself as a welcoming gateway to downtown Abilene. The project functions both as the trailhead for Abilene and the Texas Forts Trail and as a destination in itself. One wing of the building is a visitor center, not only for the city of Abilene, but for the Big Country region of West Texas and for the Texas Forts Trail, a 700-mile heritage tourism loop which starts and ends in Abilene. The larger part of the building is an audio-visual and interactive center. The stories of cowboys and longhorns, soldiers and forts, Indians and buffalo trade all come to life as the visitor is whisked back to the frontier. The Frontier Texas Experience is an exciting and historic look at the frontier from 1780 to 1880. Additional artist studio space is currently underway just across the street from the Center for Contemporary Arts. Local sculptor Nick Noblique is creating studio and gallery space he plans to open in April. Successful retail businesses that opened in the last 7 years include Jordan Taylor, a furniture gift shop, which occupies a 38,000 square foot building. Initially housed in several street front shops, they quickly outgrew that space and are now thriving in their beautifully renovated 3-story landmark building. Relics, an import shop for furniture and gifts, opened in 2000, directly across the street from Candy's Favelitas, which is located in an old railroad building on the right-of-way. In April last year, renovation was completed on the Wooten Hotel, Abilene's tallest downtown building. These beautiful apartments are fully occupied, adding much to the life of downtown after 5. Alley Cats, an Abilene coffee company, opened to serve these residents and others working in the area. The Arrangement is a gift shop and catering facilities also available for parties and meetings. It is located in the TNP renovated freight warehouse. Texas Star Bookstore is located next to the Paramount Theater. It features products and books from Texas, and the owners have done so well, they plan to open a second major gift store downtown in April. The most recent addition to downtown is the Abilene Independent School District. School officials consolidated all administration activities under one roof, and after months of renovation, they have moved into their new facility. In the past 5 years, the Downtown Tax Increment District has seen property values increase by 14%. As Peter Jennings concluded, in Abilene, this is the relevance of the arts, a downtown rebuilt, a community enriched.